Hey guys, I'm back with another haul video, and I basically have just the rest of the candles that I was kind of looking for from this latest launch of candles. Minus cedar and suede, I think, is the only other remaining one, but that's the $29.50 one, and it wasn't part of the BOGO deal today. But I have the Dream Bright and the After Dark that I was interested in, as well as some other knickknacks, so if you're interested, then stay tuned. So yeah, today there was an online-only festive event for buy one, get one free for some holiday items. And it was online only, but you could still do a BOPIS order on it, the buy online, pick up in store, and that is what I did. And I also got a 25% off coupon in the mailer, so that brought the coupons down to like, I think it was like $9 and some change. And then I wanted some hand soaps as well, so that would have been like half off plus 25% off. So I was like, oh my god, this is actually a really good deal, and like I'm not locked into having to buy like buy two get two and do like 4 of each item. It's just like I got the bare minimum of what I wanted, and I was done and out. So that's what I did. So without further ado, let me get in. So the first thing that we have is Dream Bright right here. So this is the new single fragrance launch, as you can see. And that's what that looks like. This is the Sapphire Berries, Night Blooming Orchid, and Crystallized Vanilla. So this is getting the whole hookup with the perfume and the shower gel and everything. And I usually like collecting the signature fragrance candles. So we have Dream Bright. So I smelled this in store. It's very typical BBW, as you could imagine. It's very much their like berry floral type fragrance is what you get from it. I would say it's probably closest to Dark Kiss. It may be vaguely reminiscent of Into the Night, but more so on the Dark Kiss side, in the sense that you get a like heavy berry floral fragrance, and that's pretty much what you get from it. It's not quite as like smoky or patchouli or as sophisticated as Into the Night is. This is a lot more yeah, there was that like almost like a smoky, powdery, like patchouli darkness in here that made this a little bit more darker, and this one's a little bit more brighter and juicy on the berries. If I had to say what the berries were, almost like a very sweet raspberry and maybe like a blackberry type of fragrance is what I get from this. And so it is quite similar to Dark Kiss, which this is black raspberry, burgundy rose, bergamot incense, dark vanilla bean, and plum musk. This is actually even sweeter and juicier than Dream Bright is, but very much like sibling fragrances. So if you like Dark Kiss, vaguely similar to Into the Night, it's very much reminds me of just like the older style BBW body care that we used to get, so I'm not kind of mad at it. It's slightly nostalgic. Was there was all those like purple ones that we had, like Secret Wonderland, was it? And Black Amethyst or whatever. It just reminds me of like that era of BBW in terms of was it Be Enchanted? That type of like Dark Kiss, those like purple fragrances that we kept getting back to back. It's very much like that. Yeah, pretty standard. If you like any of those fragrances I listed, then you might enjoy Dream Bright. I'll have to burn it and see how it does. The next thing we have is the new men's collection, which is the After Dark right here, and that's what that looks like right here. And this one is spiced bergamot, amber, and smooth tonka. Honestly, it just kind of smells like a men's cologne fragrance. It's very kind of similar to, I get like a lot of like bourbon mixed with like maybe a hint of noir, but definitely more on the bourbon side. You definitely get that sharp like bergamot citrus note is in there for sure, with something a little bit more warm and smooth that recalls like the sort of warmth that noir or bourbon has. Yeah, it's nothing groundbreaking. It just smells like another men's cologne fragrance, to be completely honest. I'll have to burn it and see how it does. Yeah, it's just, it smells like a men's cologne fragrance. And I had a reward, so I actually did snag the cologne, which is $16.50. And so I have the mini cologne right here, and I use that as well. It's not the strongest cologne, to be honest. It kind of fades after just a few hours, but it's still decent. I enjoy this versus like the aerosol sprays or whatever. I just like the concentration of the colognes better, and like I don't ever go through a full bottle, so I appreciate being able to get the mini one. So I was excited that there was an After Dark mini one that I could redeem with a reward. So that's what I did there. And that was the 2 candles. And then I wanted some hand soaps, and as you know, I really enjoy the gentle and clean ones. Those do not have like that one like main, like one of the very first ingredients, or one of the first like 2 ingredients or whatever it is, that has that harsh like chemical in it of the regular like harshly drying foaming hand soaps. The gentle and clean one rectifies those issues, so I did get vanilla icicles right here, and that's what that looks like. And this one reads whipped vanilla, amber woods, and iced jasmine. This is like a powdery, warm vanilla fragrance that I enjoy. It's like just like a very nice, straightforward vanilla fragrance. It's like not too Barbie doll plastic hair like that you would get from Vanilla Clouds or whatever it was. It's a little bit more powdery and just nice. So vanilla icicles right there. And I actually really enjoyed this one as well. It's Blackberry Bergamot, and that's what that looks like. And this one's like more of like a purple lavender color. This is dark blackberries, snowy cedarwood, and creamy vetiver. This is very much in like your kind of like winter garland type of like berry pine, like berry green type of fragrance that you get in the wintertime, and I enjoy that. You definitely get the cedarwood and the vetiver, and get the blackberries. You get all that in there. There's that like sort of grassy vetiver, sort of piney, outdoorsy cedarwood fragrance mixed with a very juicy blackberry. Like this could be called like blackberry pine or blackberry garland, and I would believe that. So yeah, I actually really enjoyed this one as well. So it's Blackberry Bergamot right there. And those were the 2 BOGO soaps that I did. And then lastly, this is a very short video actually, we have a warm apple pie that I found on the 50% off clearance table. And a friend of mine was telling me that I have to pick up the warm apple pie this year, the online exclusive one, but I was like, girl, I don't want to pay for shipping on that. So I walked into the store, and lo and behold, there was one lone one, so I was able to get this for $12.95, so I was really jazzed about that. So it says baked Granny Smith apple, melted brown sugar, and a flaky homemade crust. This one has a very like storied history in terms of it being very notoriously lightly scented. And it does wane. Like the very first version of the White Barn core jar and like the red glass was very light for me, but then I had the one that came out in the year PB&J came out with the deep red wax, and that was actually probably the strongest warm apple pie I ever had. And then I found a random like 4th of July one from last year during SAS, which had white wax and performed like almost identical to this. And that one I polished off like crazy. That was great. It wasn't as strong as the red one, but it wasn't as unscented as the original one. It was just very much like in the 4 to 5 range, where like if you put it in a bedroom, you can smell it more than adequate, and it's just great in a bedroom. It gets a little bit more lost in an open concept area, but it's perfectly fine for a smaller bedroom, and like I don't mind that because I love warm apple pie so much. We've all smelled this before. It's like a very buttery, crusty apple pie fragrance. So you get that brown sugar in there, definitely with like a melted butter, and then like a cinnamon topped apple comes last, but definitely more emphasis on the bakery. But that's what I like, because there are so many generic dime a dozen like Macintosh apple, Granny Smith apple fragrances out there that kind of lack on the actual pie crust element. So I love that the emphasis on this is that butter and the crust fragrance. So I do enjoy this one quite a bit. But yeah, this one performed just like that 4th of July one. I just polished that one off like crazy, and they both even burn the same, where like the very first burn looks like it's gonna nub out or dud out and doesn't have high wicked flames, but you let that sucker go for like 6 hours maybe, and it'll still pull out and be fine. And then every time afterwards it won't make mushroom tops, and so you can just like light and go, and it's fine, and like it doesn't soot, it doesn't like, you know, drown either. It's just great. There's a little bit of like a schmutzy burn on it, but it's still like just the perfect burn in terms of like no maintenance, no trimming, no nothing, no sooting. I just love it. And it's just like a great like 4 to 5 range for a bedroom. There is a slightly like a spicy, plasticky element to warm apple pie though that I remember even getting with the 4th of July one, and this one I get it very much so as well. There's a slight like spicy plasticiness to it that's a little weird, but it's still our beloved warm apple pie nonetheless. So I was just super excited to find this for 50% off in store. It must have obviously been like an online exclusive return from somebody. So warm apple pie right there. And I believe that is it. Yeah, so there's a cedar and suede candle coming out, which was like a darker woodsy cinnamon spice fragrance. It was very quintessentially holiday or Christmas, so I did appreciate that. I thought it was going to be just another boring cologne fragrance, but it was not. There was definitely like a darker spicy cinnamon vibe to it that I really enjoyed. It kind of reminded me of like cinnamon and pine cone made a little bit more woodsy and dark. So I was excited to see that. Once there's like a reasonable sale on that, I'll try to pick that up. And then there's also a lot of like candle day, I think, candles that have started to trickle on social media. But I'll probably talk about that on an Instagram live later, but not on this video. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.